Okay, so, you know, I think we've all seen them. Those headlines that promise, like, insane weight loss.
Oh, yeah. Drop 10 pounds in a week.
Exactly, yeah. And, we always want to believe them, right?
Right.
But today we're taking a deep dive into something a little more, well, a little more grounded, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You guys sent in this guy called How to Lose Weight Fast.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, the title makes me a little wary, honestly.
Yeah, I get it. Fast can definitely set off some alarm bells, makes you think fad diets, quick fixes, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, maybe taking a deep dive into it, we'll find some stuff that's actually, helpful and sustainable.
Absolutely. I mean, just flipping through it quickly, it seems like it's more about making healthy changes that you can stick with.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Not about, starving yourself or anything crazy like that.
Yeah. So maybe not as scary as the title makes it sound.
Hopefully not.
So one of the first things that jumps out, right off the bat, is this idea of cutting out sugary drinks. I mean, it seems kind of obvious, but is it really that big of a deal? Like, if I just swap my afternoon soda for water, am I really going to see a difference?
You actually might be surprised. Those liquid calories, they can really add up without you even realizing it.
Oh, yeah?
Think about it, like a can of soda. That can easily have, like 150 calories?
Yeah.
And it's just like gone in a few sips.
Yeah. It's not like eating 150 calories worth of, broccoli, which would probably fill you up.
Exactly. And most people don't even think of drinks as food, so those calories just kind of fly under the radar.
And the guy doesn't stop there.
Right.
Yeah, it goes on to say we should limit added sugar, overall.
Right.
And, well, I have a little bit of a sweet tooth, so that's going to be tough. But how big of a deal is it really? Is it just about, cutting empty calories? Or is there more to it than that?
Yeah, you're definitely cutting out those empty calories, but it goes deeper than that, too. There's a hormonal component. Like, when you eat a lot of sugar, your body pumps out all this insulin. And that can, lead to fat storage. And then over time, you can even develop insulin resistance, which can make it even harder to lose weight.
So it's like a double whammy.
Pretty much, yeah. So the guide's suggestion of keeping added sugar under 10% of your daily calories, that's actually in line with what a lot of, health organizations recommend.
Okay, good to know. So we got to ditch the sugar. Now, there's this other part of the guide that really caught my eye, and that's intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard a lot about it, good and bad. Some people swear by it, but it also sounds kind of intense. Can you break it down for us? What are the different methods, like 16.8 and 5.2?
Sure. So 16.8 is basically you fast for 16 hours, and then you have an 8-hour window where you can eat. So, you might skip breakfast, have your first meal at noon, and then finish dinner by 8 p.m.
Oh, I see.
5.2 is a little different. You eat normally for 5 days a week, and then for 2 non-consecutive days, you restrict your calories to, 500 to 600.
Okay, so it's 16.8 is more about when you eat, and 5.2 is more about how much you eat.
Exactly.
Is there one that has more benefits than the other, or is it just personal preference?
Yeah, it really depends on the person. Some people find it easier to restrict their eating window, while others prefer, just having those couple of days where they really cut back on calories. Both methods can help with weight loss, but the key is finding what's sustainable for you.
Right.
What you can actually stick with.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guide does say that even if you're intermittent fasting, it's still super important to focus on eating nutrient-dense foods. Why is that so important when you're fasting?
Well, when you're fasting, you have a limited time to get all the nutrients your body needs, right? So by prioritizing veggies, lean protein, whole grains, you're making sure you're getting those vitamins, minerals, fiber, all that good stuff, while keeping you feeling full and satisfied.
Yeah, getting the most out of those eating windows. And speaking of, building blocks and all that, the guide is really big on protein, especially for keeping muscle mass when you're trying to lose weight. I was wondering about this. What's the big deal about losing muscle? Isn't losing weight, losing weight no matter what?
Not really. See, muscle is metabolically active tissue. It burns more calories at rest than fat does. So if you lose muscle along with fat, your metabolism actually slows down.
Oh, interesting.
And that can make it harder to keep the weight off in the long run. You could even hit a weight loss plateau.
Huh. So more muscle equals a faster metabolism.
Exactly.
Which helps with weight loss and preventing those plateaus.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So protein is key. And now let's talk about exercise. The guide recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate activity per week, like brisk walking or cycling or swimming, that kind of stuff. And then strength training twice a week.
That's a great starting point.
Yeah, it seems pretty doable, actually. But I'm curious, why is strength training so important? I mean, isn't cardio enough to burn calories?
Cardio is definitely great for your heart, and it burns calories, no doubt. But strength training, that's like your secret weapon. Because, like we were just saying, it builds muscle, which boosts your metabolism, but it also does so much more. Like it strengthens your bones, improves your balance, even just helps you with everyday activities.
Yeah, I remember reading somewhere that, like, building muscle can actually help, like, prevent age-related decline.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about looking good, it's about, like, feeling good and staying healthy as we get older.
Exactly.
And it's cool that the guide emphasizes, like, finding ways to just be more active throughout the day, too. Like taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
Right.
Or, like, going for a walk at lunch.
Yeah, it all adds up.
All those little things make a difference. Okay, so moving on to lifestyle modifications. I think this is something people often forget about, but it can be really important. The guide mentions drinking plenty of water, and not just for hydration. It says that drinking water before meals can actually help curb your appetite. Is that true?
There's definitely some truth to that, yeah. There have been studies that show drinking water before meals can help you eat less.
Oh, wow.
Basically, it fills up your stomach, sends signals to your brain that you're fuller, and that can help prevent overeating.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm hungry, but I'm actually just thirsty.
Totally. Staying hydrated can be a game changer.
Totally. And, speaking of being more aware, the guide also emphasizes this idea of mindful eating. It seems like everyone's talking about mindful eating these days, but what does it actually mean? And how can it help with weight loss?
Mindful eating is all about, actually paying attention to your food. Like, really savoring the flavors, the textures, the aromas, slowing down, chewing your food thoroughly, listening to your body's signals of hunger and fullness. I think a lot of times we eat on autopilot, just kind of shoveling food in while we're watching TV or scrolling on our phones.
Oh, yeah.
And that can lead to overeating because we're not really present with our food. We're not paying attention to our body's cues.
Yeah, I can see that. So it's about being more in tune with our bodies and really appreciating our food. I guess that makes sense for preventing, mindlessly overeating.
Exactly.
And you know what? This reminds me of something else the guide mentioned, getting enough sleep. I know, when I'm sleep deprived, I'm definitely more likely to snack.
Oh yeah, there's a reason for that. When you don't get enough sleep, your body produces more ghrelin, which is the hormone that makes you feel hungry.
Oh, wow.
And less leptin, which is the hormone that signals fullness. So basically, it throws your hunger hormones totally out of whack.
Huh. So lack of sleep really can make you feel way hungrier.
It can, yeah. Especially for high-calorie, sugary foods.
Oh, no. So those late-night cravings are a real thing.
They are. So yeah, getting enough sleep is really important, just like diet and exercise.
So to sum it all up, it seems like this guide, How to Lose Weight Fast, is really more about building sustainable habits for long-term health.
Yeah.
Making smart food choices, being more active, paying attention to things like sleep and hydration. It's a whole package deal, which I really like.
I agree. It's a holistic approach. And I think the key takeaway here is that it's a journey, not a destination. It's about making gradual changes, finding what works best for you, and not being too hard on yourself along the way. Everyone's different, so what works for one person might not work for another. It's all about experimenting and finding what fits your body and your lifestyle. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to think about this. What's one small change you can make today to move closer to your health goals? It could be something as simple as swapping that soda for water or taking a 10-minute walk during your lunch break. Small steps can lead to big results over time.
Love that. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And thanks to all of you for listening and for sending in this guide. It was a great one to unpack.
Yeah, always fun to explore these topics together.